Now, because certainty is one of, I think, the themes around being a constant character. But I identified only one constant character in Conclave, and that is Sister Agnes. And here's the reason why I've come to that conclusion. Right, so throughout my study this season, I've identified that there are a few indicators that flag a constant character. And the deepest one is the one that sits inside the character, and that's their beliefs and their values. Now, a character's beliefs and values determine their wants and their actions to get their object of desire. And constant characters' beliefs and values remain the same throughout the movies. And we've really had some great examples of that this season. And you can really, when you focus on it and you think about what is it that they believe that is driving their thinking and their action, you can start to really see the difference between a constant character and a change character. Now, all of the cardinals have their beliefs challenged and then they change. So cardinals Adeyemi, Bellini, Tremblay and Tedesco, which are all the antagonists that Valerie's identified, all believe that they alone are what the church needs. They all believe that they should be the next pope, except they have to live with the harsh reality that this is not so. So where they start the movie really certain about their beliefs, they end the movie in a completely different place from an internal belief perspective. And then there's Benitez, right? Benitez, all right. And then there's Benitez. He starts by believing that Lawrence should be the next pope. And as he observes the cardinals in the conclave, he declares that he will never return to Rome because he is appalled by their behaviour, and rightly so. But by the end of the movie, he has to accept and believe that he will be the next pope and he is the right pope for this point in time. So again, there's an internal arc, an internal belief change that he goes through, even though he doesn't really appear on the screen very much, but there's clear points in the film where I think that happens. And then there's Lawrence, and he is the most interesting because his change arc is about self-acceptance. So he starts the film by revealing that he handed the Pope his resignation as dean, and it was rejected. Now, Lawrence wants to go back to a parish or to lead a contemplative life, and he struggles with the former Pope's assessment that he is a manager and not a shepherd, because shepherds lead their flocks and the Pope is a leader. Now, despite Lawrence denying that he wants to be Pope, it is revealed that he has chosen a name for his papacy if he was to become Pope. So, and this is a fantastic setup and payoff in the movie. Do you know, it's fantastic how that happens. And I won't go into too much detail, but it's a really clear key sign that he doesn't understand himself as well as he perhaps should, right? And this is why I don't think he is a constant character. So the former Pope and the other cardinals saw who Lawrence was, but he couldn't see it himself. By the end of the film, Lawrence understood the importance of being the dean of the conclave, and it's through Lawrence's deft management and some divine intervention that Benitez became Pope. So Lawrence accepted his role as a manager on the farm or in the farm. And so all of that, I think, provides the evidence that he has an internal arc, that he understands, he goes from understanding or lack of understanding of who he is and what the Pope wanted him to do, to seeing himself more clearly and then accepting his strengths, which he was in a bit of denial at the beginning of the movie. What he thought he was, so his beliefs about who he was were actually false, and he has a different belief by the end of the movie.